Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again, hit you with a video. Now, we all remember the big old debacle with Steve Harvey that happened earlier this year, meeting President Trump, and a lot of people got on his ass, basically, about him meeting President Trump, and like, how can you support Hillary the whole time, and pretty much bash Donald Trump all last year, and then when Hillary loses and she gets taken out some kind of way out of the popular vote or whatever you want to call it, that's when Steve decides to jump on a Trump bandwagon. But this is not so much as the Trump and Steve uh, story, because we already covered that in the past, but it's more of what recently came out this week when he was telling the Hollywood Reporter that his wife didn't want him to go. So I'm going to read a little snippets from this and I will give my input in also. Steve basically said, I should have listened to my wife. Comedian Steve Harvey says he regrets meeting Trump after suffering verbal abuse and being called a sellout, coon, Sambo, Mr. Bojangles, all kinds of stuff. He even called him Mr. Hightower. They was even talking about the high top fade and everything that Steve Harvey had that was really pretty much fake, and we thought that high top fade was real. I'm like, how in the hell do Steve Harvey keep that high top fade in perfect condition, just a perfect line? And you know, it was an old saying when we used to go to the barbershop. People were like, man, let me get that Steve Harvey fade or that Steve Harvey line, which was a straight line like a razor. No, not even one little single hair sticking out. Let's continue. And also says, comedian Steve Harvey said he regrets meeting with Trump in January, which I bet he do. Harvey said he braved a torrent of verbal abuse after the meeting. Harvey said that he should have listened to his wife and have not attended. A lot of times, if you got a good woman, you should have listened to her, you know, and not just him, that goes for all of us. You know, if you got a good woman, a lot of times they'll be like, don't go out there, don't go over your friend's house, and all of a sudden, you know, a fight might break out, or, you know, you might end up going to jail, or the police might pull you over for some unknown reason or whatnot. So some of the times the women do be correct. So big kudos to the women. And it also says during their meeting, Harvey and Trump mostly discussed golf and ways to improve the inner cities through hugs. I think it was just a photo op. I don't think when nobody discussing a damn thing, because how many times we've been discussing stuff about the inner cities when people are only putting up basketball courts, they're not putting up any community centers, they're not putting up any recreational centers where you could teach kids more than just how to catch a football and how to shoot a basketball, you know. So I don't understand what's going on, but this is not Steve Harvey battle because it was going on way before Steve Harvey. So we have to remember that because we've been hearing this for the longest, you know. And he pretty much said that I didn't see that coming. Jesus Harvey told the reporter, which published the interview too. It was so vicious that it really threw me, and I don't understand how, because what the problem really was is just the fact that people seeing him as a hypocrite, and that's what a hypocrite does. They contradict themselves, they doubt themselves, they'll say one thing and do another, you know. And we know people like that. We kin to a lot of people like that, probably. Some of us, I know I am, you know. They'll say they love you and stab you in the back, or they say I'm not gonna go out there and help you with the yard, but then again they'll come out there. So you don't know what to expect from a hypocrite. It's like a double-minded person. You know, and anything that's double-minded is not stable and won't stand. So let's continue, because this is a very interesting story. And I was waiting for this to come out, but I don't understand, before I continue, I don't understand why won't Steve just let good be. It's like Steve just want to be in the news. Remember the story about the Flint incident where the guys, where he was mad at LeBron lost the championship against Steph Curry. Hell, Steph Curry and them got a stacked up team. That's why Kyrie Irving left Cleveland Cavaliers and went somewhere else. So Steve, being from Cleveland, being a Cleveland native, he really liked LeBron James. So when LeBron lost, you know, and that kind of made him say what he said on the phone when they had the people calling in and stuff. And he said some stuff about Michigan, Flint, Michigan, that water up there, that poisonous lead water that I don't know why they won't fix. I don't know why won't celebrities come together and donate some money to that. True, we need money for Hurricane Harvey. A lot of people, you know, displaced and dying. But the same thing happened in Flint, Michigan. We need some of these celebrities, Kevin Hart and them, to donate 25,000 apiece. Let's put a Flint challenge out where everybody, even if you ain't no celebrity, give $5. You know, tell them we'll pay for the pipes ourselves. But that's too much like right. Let me continue. But at the same time, Steve said I was being called names that I'd never been called before. And I know that's a damn lie, because, hell, I'm yelling. I done got called a lot of damn things. You know, I'm light-skinned, and they call me all kinds of stuff. Steve said they pretty much called him Uncle Tom, a coon, a sellout, and all of the above. But Steve also said that he should have listened to his wife Marjorie, who advised him against going to see Donald Trump and suggested that instead he stick with plans to celebrate his 60th birthday instead of going up here trying to do a photo op with Donald Trump. That's pretty much what the whole thing boils down to. Steve seen an opportunity to stand beside, quote unquote, the most powerful man in America, because not in the world, and really not even America anyway. It's the people that back him. It's the bankers. That's really the bosses. And you know, if you want me to educate you, I'll educate you now. But let's continue. So instead of Steve going to celebrate his birthday on a luxurious golf course, like since he loved to play golf, him, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, because it costs that big money to play golf, and you have to be accepted to certain one of these clubs. So it's like a fraternity where they can go fraternize with each other, a brotherhood, you know, of people with big pockets, you know, a lot of money. So I don't understand why didn't he go just celebrate his birthday somewhere and chill out, and that story would have never happened. Then the backlash following that came, the second wave, I call it, when Tony Rock pretty much exposed Marjorie Harvey as, you know, having two other kids by two cousins that were supposed to have been drug dealers in Memphis. I think Barack Obama gave them guys a federal pardon, and you can look that up also. Now I know there's some deep stuff. See, this rabbit holes go so damn deep, even the rabbits don't go down there. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, Tony Rock did more damage than the Donald Trump situation did, because if you look at the fact, that's when the onslaught started really happening. I don't know why he didn't include that, and it's smart of him not to include that, because what he's trying to do is put his wife in a good light, and I don't blame him. You know, we can't sit up here and say, well, he shouldn't have left Mary, or he shouldn't have did that. My thing with the Mary thing was the fact that the relationship advice that he get, I felt it wasn't right. That don't mean you didn't have to feel it wasn't right. We all have our own personal opinions and our disagreements. But the information that he was giving out to a lot of people, men and women, I just wasn't thinking that was the right thing to do. Then with the book, act like a woman, think like a man. And like I said in a video I did months ago, a woman can't act like a damn man. You got to be who you are. That's the problem with the world now. Everybody want to act something other than themselves. So when somebody come along and pull your coattail, like the old folks say, you know, you feel like somebody is talking against you or telling you not to be who you want to be, but you cannot be what you're not. That's the problem with the world right now. Everybody want to be something that they're not. Only people on the face, only things on the face of this earth that does that is human beings. Cats gonna be cats. A cat is not gonna wake up Wednesday and want to be a dog, then wake up Thursday and want to be a giraffe. You know, a dog can't do nothing but be a dog. See, they don't have free will. We are the ones that have free will, and that's why the world's in the shape it's in now, because man is free to do any and everything that he want to do, and then they ain't want nobody to call him out on it. That's cool, fine. So let's get that understood right there, is that the fact that the onslaught, the verbal abuse really started coming after the video Tony Rock did. And I don't know why he never fully addressed Tony Rock like he was supposed to, because the man pretty much called your wife a hoe. I'm just gonna be honest with you, excuse my French, I'm not saying that, but that's what he said. You know, I got enough sense and respect, even if she is that, I'm still not gonna call him that, because that's still that man's wife. You know I say everything else, but I'm not gonna disrespect the people like that. But at the same time, I also agree with the fact that just because he had problems in his relationship with Mary, we don't know what all was going on. You know, and Essie Berry, you can look her up on YouTube. She was exposing a lot of truth into the fact that, you know, I just stopped watching and stopped commenting on. That's why you never heard me say anything else about it, because the story was like it was like peeling the onion back. It's so many layers to it, so many discrepancies on each one of them part, not just Steve but Mary's part too. But that's a whole different story for a whole nother video, and it's a lot that we really didn't know. You know, and big shout out to Essie Berry also. That's Rerun from the guy from the 70s show What's Happening. That's her. I mean, that's his wife. And may he rest in peace also. But back to Steve. Now, instead of Steve going to celebrate his 60th birthday like I would have did, and to skip all this mess, and then have somebody, see, that left the door in for the Tony Rock video, the Trump, because it's like a wounded dog, you know, because he was already wounded. Because remember, Steve was this big old powerhouse, like the Tyler Perry, the Oprah Winfrey. Even though he's not quite there yet, he's right there. So it took a lot to bring him down. And, you know, not saying that he's down where he lost everything, because he didn't, of course, as we could see. But at the same time, that shot right there from the Donald Trump, that wounded him. And then the Tony Rock, that wounded him even more. And that's when he was around doing damage control. And that's how my voice wound up on his damn radio show, which I don't know how I wound up on there because, hey, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, let's keep it moving. So you pretty much have him trying to paint his wife in a good light, which he always have. Because one thing I will say about the man, even when he's talking about certain situations on his morning show, he'll bring up the fact Marjorie this, Marjorie that, Marjorie with the grandkids. You know, Marjorie she helps me do this. So I look and I take everything in. I take in the good and the bad. You know, so I sit back and I'm like, well, you know, maybe that was best for him to be with Marjorie, because number one, we cannot tell no man or woman who to be with. You have the right to be with whoever you want to be with, no matter if you use them and abuse them or not. That's on you and God, you and your creator. That's for him to decide and to judge you on that. That's not for me to judge you on that. My thing is this right here is telling women to act like a man and think like a woman. You can't do that. It's like telling me to act like a man, but walk like a lady. You know, you can't do that. You can't be nothing but what you already are. And that's the problems in the relationship. That's why you have the men and the women want to wear the pants in a relationship, and it shouldn't be that way. The old-fashioned way, men is the head of the house. Even the Bible says that. And I'm not trying to preach to you, but at the same time, we have a lot of men who's not thinking with their heads. So the women have to become the head of the house, or the whole foundation, the whole house will fall. We understand that. So if you have a man that's capable of leading you, let that man lead. But not everybody should lead, whether it's a woman. Some women shouldn't even lead. Lead. Just like some of them shouldn't even have kids. And the same go for men, because most of them ain't gonna take care of the kids and ain't gonna just do nothing for them. So it's all understood. But at the same time, I understand what he's trying to do for us. You know, saying Marjorie told him, which she most likely did, because Marjorie liked it. Look, we doing good right now. We don't need any more pressure. Sit your ass down. Go to the golf course. I order, you know, not order. I have because I doubt if she cook, and if she do, hey, kudos. But most likely she'll be like, well, I'll just have tables reserved at a restaurant for me and you. That way we can enjoy, you know, your birthday in our own private way, in our own private time, in a private setting, but we don't have to worry about none of this. So I bet he wish he had took her up on that opportunity and went and, you know, had his birthday just like normal people do, instead of being all up in the camera cheesing in front of Donald Trump. Because we see where that gets you. Because you have to understand, people are not dumb. People are woke now, most of them. Well, no, not most of them, some of them, because it's a lot goes on that still don't be reported, and it's a lot that we can't report on. But the things that we can report on, we should report on. But at the same time, like I said, this is not to bash him or his wife, because like I said, he has the right and has the power to be with whoever he want to be with. But at the same time, don't contradict yourself. Don't contradict yourself going for Hillary, then she lose, you all with Trump. Don't contradict yourself telling people about relationship stuff and then come to find out you got a whole row full of skeletons in your closet. You can't do that. So, you know, I wish him and Marjorie the best, true enough, you know, because that's not my decision and that's not yours to say, well, he should have stayed with Mary. No. If he didn't want to be with her, he shouldn't have been with her, and vice versa. If she didn't want to be with him, she shouldn't have to be with him. But at the same time, don't sit up here and use and mistreat people and trick them and do them wrong and then leave them for somebody else. That's a whole different case right there. You know, I hope you all understand that. But anyway, I just want to hit y'all with this video, and make sure you all leave me your comments also, because like I said, you know, we each here for a purpose. We each here for a reason. And just because you have a child with someone don't mean you want to stay with them forever. Just because you walk down an aisle with somebody, you put a ring on somebody's hand, don't mean you're going to be with them forever. Because just like you put that ring on their hand, you can take that ring right back off and walk the other way. Just remember that today. So let me know what you all think about this situation right here. This has been Trey. Hope you like, subscribe. Till next time, stay blessed and put that woman first. I'm out.